what's up? What's going on? It's your Friday guy Cole, and this week's topic is dealing with anxiety. So, if I'm honest, I haven't really got like a whole load to say on this topic, just purely because yes, I have been anxious in situations. Yes, I have experienced, let's say feeling anxious in whatever situation throughout my transition and beforehand. But the way that I've dealt with it, I honestly, I couldn't really say. It's just a thing of time for me personally. I know that's not very helpful. I have some tips, but like the majority of it has just been a thing of time and just making your way through, those feelings and just sort of becoming more comfortable with yourself. And that effort is sometimes subconscious and sometimes it just happens as you grow, as you mature as a person. So it kind of varies for the individual, I guess. But the tips that I do have for you, so some of the ways that I have sort of developed through feeling anxious and just become more confident and more comfortable with myself as a person, even pre-transition, like medical transition, the things that I did. So I do things that I genuinely felt nervous about before and didn't really want to do them because I felt nervous about doing it. So say for example, I'd put myself in a situation, a friend has invited me to, I don't know, a party or something, and I don't know anybody, like I only know that one person, for example, or just a similar situation where you may not feel anxious about that sort of thing, but in the past I used to. So I'd be going to this party and think, oh god, he's the only person that I know, and am I gonna walk in and I don't, like, there's loads of different things that you can think about. What's the dress code? Am I gonna look weird if I wear a shirt? This, that, the other. There's so many different things that go through your mind, but you just kind of just do it. Just put yourself in the deep end, and that's what I did. So I just go to different, like, put myself in different scenarios, and yes, obviously I'm breaking it, and yes, obviously I'm overthinking and thinking about what could happen, or how I could make a fool of myself, or there's so many different outcomes to it. But in the end, when you get there, it's very, very rarely as bad as you thought. Very rarely, because you go there and I guess it's a thing of, like, I don't really know if it's linked to your fight or flight response, I guess, but that adrenaline will still make you think, oh shit, okay, and then you just suddenly just deal with it, I guess. There's not really any easy way of putting it, like, in the past. So yeah, say for example, that specific example, I went to this party and I was shitting. I walked in and it was loads of people, obviously, that I didn't know. He was the only guy that I knew, and I didn't want to follow him around all night because you look like a lost puppy. So I'm thinking, alright, I'm gonna have to deal with this. So I just kind of put on a front. I was like, and acted like I was the most confident guy in the room, like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, my name's Cole, to whoever, like, hi, nice to meet you, and just you end up chilling with these people that you've never met before, and it's cool. Like, nobody's thinking, oh, he's weird because he's wearing a shirt. Like, everybody's just chatting to you, and it's fine. So it is just a thing of literally just putting yourself out of your comfort zone and just dealing with it from there. That is one thing that I found has helped a lot in any situation, not just in social situations, but in quite a lot of things where say for example a driving test, or a new job, or there's so many different scenarios that you could put yourself in where you'd avoid it because it's making you nervous, but actually if you do it, you'll realize it wasn't as bad, one, and two, you've developed and learned as a person because you've done that experience. So it's a win-win situation. So another scenario as well, or another example at least, of a way to sort of overcome feeling anxious about something. So say for example, you need to have a difficult conversation with someone. Just practice it beforehand and just think about any outcomes that could happen, and think of your answer to them, I guess, and think of just every sort of option or route that it could go. And I know that obviously that is probably not so good for you because that is overthinking, but in the past when I've had to have a difficult conversation with somebody, or a family member, friend, whatever, I'll think through the whole conversation and the possible outcomes. And even though it does sound a little strange, I guess, but it does sort of prepare you for every outcome that could potentially happen, and you're just, at least you can then get your point across without them sort of trying to change it to what if they're in the wrong, for example, what they're thinking. You need to be able to defend your corner. And obviously when you're in that sort of scenario, your mind is likely to go blank, so it always helps to just sort of preempt and just think about what could happen. And that goes for quite a few situations. So say for example, you're I don't know, you're going to watch a sport game and you don't know much about the rules, you don't know much about the sport, but you want to fit in. Have a little look up on I don't know, Google, you know, see what you can find, and just see, like, get the basics of it so that you know that you're not going to make a complete fool of yourself if you're cheering at the wrong time, or if something happened and, you know, everyone's cheering or screaming and you don't know what's just happened. You know, it's, just sort of practice things and just preempt them, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much all the advice I've got, really. I know it's not too helpful. And of course what Kamari said as well, of course, about meditation, you know, just grounding yourself. And so say you're in a social situation or you're in any other situation and you're feeling anxious, you know, it's a very good way to just take your mind out of the present and just be aware of everything. So mindfulness, practice that as well. That's a really big thing, because that will just stop the thoughts for a second. Like, once you get the hang of it, it will begin to slow down the thoughts and the thought processes and the panicking in your head, and you'll be able to, you know, just be in that moment for a split second, just whilst you gather your senses, gather your thoughts, and just gather yourself, and then you can continue on from there. So I hope that was helpful for you. You know, as I said, there wasn't too much information, and some of it may have been obvious, but either way, I will see you guys next week. Make sure you check out the rest of the guys. Thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.